Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we...
Tonight on Primetime, UGA students getting ready to move onto campus. Among the changes because of COVID-19, making a reservation to eat at the dining halls. We spoke with one student going through the process.
And goats on the loose near Chastain Park. Goats, run for your lives. It's a surprise interruption for neighbors as they try to wrangle this runaway herd.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
This could be the worst fall from a public health perspective we've ever had.
On this Thursday night, a warning from the head of the CDC as children go back to the classrooms. Kids can catch the virus, and they are. The CDC says 4 simple things are the best defense. Wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands, and be smart about crowds. We can bring the virus outbreak under control. Right now, cases of COVID-19 are spiking among children, with some of the highest numbers being recorded in our state.
Today, about 70% of students were back in the classroom in Forsyth County, but there's one family who isn't sure their daughter will even be able to attend school virtually. That's because Reveal investigator Rebecca Lindstrom says 5 months after getting sick, the little girl is still fighting the lingering effects of the virus.
Let's play some more.
In this game of tic-tac-toe, Jeannie Johnson could care less who wins. She's just grateful her 9-year-old daughter has the energy to play.
Can play again? She can barely do 30 minutes of activity without being completely wiped out.
Kira has a mitochondrial disorder. Her body doesn't convert fat to energy. That has never stopped her from going to school, therapy, Girl Scouts, even musical theater. It took COVID-19 to change all that.
It's just been really heartbreaking watching what she's gone through and the fact that, I mean, truly nobody knows what to do for her or how to help us.
It started with an unusual afternoon nap, then a fever and wheezing. But this was March, when COVID tests were only for people with severe symptoms. Over the next month, she would go back 3 more times in vain. It wasn't until Kira's dad also got sick that the family paid a private lab to run the test.
I was very angry to be pushed off so many times and to be dismissed pretty flippantly over a virus that nobody understands.
Johnson was right. Kira tested positive for COVID.
Children are a part of this pandemic as well.
Children's Hospital Medical Director for Epidemiology admits there is still a lot we don't know about COVID, especially in children. Dr. Andy Shane says in Georgia, the positive test rate is now about 9% in minors. Most can be treated at home. Dr. Shane says children fight off viral respiratory infections due to poor hygiene and constant contact with other kids. She wonders if that has helped their immune systems better fight this too.
There's also been some discussion about something called an ACE2 receptor, which is something that is found in the lungs and in the nasal passages. And children seem to have a decreased number of these receptors, thus making them perhaps less sensitive to the virus.
Latino and Black children are at least 5 times more likely to be hospitalized. The most common underlying health conditions, obesity and chronic lung disease. Dr. Shane says we have spent a lot of time trying to understand COVID's impact on the cardiovascular system that we're only now beginning to understand its impact neurologically.
Her quality of life is terrible.
That's why Johnson is sharing Kira's story. She wants parents to know children can be impacted. In the past 5 months, she says Kira has consistently had a low-grade fever, experienced night terrors, stomach aches, headaches, and a racing heartbeat. She has experienced problems with short-term memory.
Tic-tac-toe, tic-tac-toe.
Johnson doesn't know how much is attributed to COVID, but more frustrating, neither do doctors.
I felt like I'm managing this pandemic disease all by myself.
Both the number of cases and the number of children in the hospital spiked in July. There were more than 15,000 confirmed cases. That increase is likely due to increased access to testing.
Something important to know, regardless of whether you've had a test, if you're very sick, you're going to go to the hospital. And those numbers were also up in July. So let's take a look. 195 kids and teenagers were hospitalized in all. That's a little over 1% of the positive cases. Most of them were between the ages of 10 and 17. In July, 73 were hospitalized. That's more than all the other months combined. And there have already been more than 24 this month. 17 kids between the ages of 5 and 9 were hospitalized in July alone. That's compared to just 6 from February to June. But it's important to remember most children who test positive can be treated at home. Well, those summer storms firing up tonight. 11 Alive community storm tracker Nicole sending us this video of rain coming down sideways in Sugar Hill. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb tracking the storms for us tonight. Chris, hey.
And that video just came in within the past 30 minutes, and we're still seeing a lot of that heavy rain in parts of Gwinnett County right now. And remember at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight, we told you we had very spotty showers out there that we might see more developing during the evening. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now with some of these showers that are popping up in all the heating and humidity, some with heavy rain and also some thunder and lightning. And now I want to take you up into the northern parts of Atlanta here, north inside the perimeter around Buckhead, getting closer to Sandy Springs, and then head up 85 north through Gwinnett County. We've got some really heavy rain and thunder and lightning there that moves into Lawrenceville. This is up towards Sugar Hill and Buford. That's where we saw that video out of Sugar Hill just a little while ago. And it keeps moving on over to Jackson County. Look at all the heavy rain in Brazelton, over into Winder in Barrow County, also over toward Athens in the northern parts of Oconee County. Very heavy rain, thunder and lightning there, and that extends over into parts of Madison County too. In all of these showers that you see here north and east of the city, we've got about 137 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. Also on the west side, another cluster of storms from Polk County, Haralson County into Carroll County, moving into South Fulton here, parts of Douglas, also into Coweta County. Heavy rain there. Near Hogansville into the northern parts of Troup County, we have some heavy rain. And out of this, we have about 79 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. Up in North Georgia, a little quieter now. And as we go through the rest of the evening hours, we will have the chance for a few of these showers to linger for a while before they rain themselves out. And tomorrow's rain chance, it's going to be up again. Stay with us. We'll tell you more about that and the timing of that, if that'll persist into the weekend.
Any issues families had getting into the online portal for virtual learning yesterday seem to have been resolved today. That's according to Gwinnett County's school district. On the first day of virtual learning yesterday, the district says its servers couldn't handle the sheer number of families trying to log in at the same time. Some received error messages. The school says even though they tested the system over the summer, it's not the same as everyone trying to log on at once. Today, the district told us it went much better after urging families to log in a few minutes before classes were set to start to avoid the overwhelming system. Excuse me. Districts are now working nonstop to try to close the digital divide. It is a challenge some districts faced long before the pandemic. Clayton County Schools supposed to have 5 years to get 38,000 Chromebooks into the hands of students. When we spoke to the superintendent in March, they were trying to figure out how to do that in a matter of months. Naeem Abdullahi is checking back to see how one district fared in trying to bridge the gap.
North Clayton Middle School is finding ways to navigate around making ends meet and to give children the best learning experience possible.
And as a family, as a community, it's up to us to take care of each other.
North Clayton Middle School before the pandemic, and now empty hallways. But Principal Shakira Rice says the virtual experience is trying to keep the learning process engaging for students like Joshua.
We're all together and we're all learning how we're all learning the same way. We're all family.
A family that was forced to create community from a distance.
March 13th, that was the last day we saw our scholars in the building. That time taught us a lot about equity and access.
Equity and access in Clayton County has always been a top priority in this vulnerable community that was already facing many battles before the pandemic, like food deserts and lack of resources.
If we were to kind of paint the reality for their households, what would that look like?
The zip code where our school is located is one of the most impoverished zip codes in the entire metro area. It can be challenging for some of our parents. Because of that, many of our parents may have to work multiple jobs.
Principal Rice hasn't allowed the challenges to discourage her school, which serves as a beacon of hope for the 902 students enrolled here. Partnerships with community resources means going beyond the classroom to be a lifeline for families struggling during this time.
In terms of food, rental assistance.
And as far as classroom resources, Principal Rice says the district has ordered devices for schools in the county. The county says they've issued 35,000 devices to students and more are on the way. Right now, about 15 students at North Clayton Middle School are still on the waiting list to receive laptops. Principal Rice is hoping that need will be met soon.
I think it's very important for us to help remove those barriers.
It is such an interesting subject to think about and to talk about, and very, very intriguing to get the information that we have tonight. So if you want to know the district start dates and their plans to keep kids safe, we have a guide up and running on 11alive.com, and it's a terrific resource to track policies from district to district. Starting college, a big step, and it has become a little more complicated. We caught up with a UGA freshman who is trying to navigate the all-new COVID-19 rules around the Athens campus.
And don't forget, we are streaming right now on the 11 Alive YouTube channel. You can subscribe and join the conversation. More 11 Alive news in prime time after the break.
Great uncertainty. Some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Heading to campus this weekend with classes starting next week. While living in a dorm typically presents its own challenges, it's even more difficult now due to COVID. Caitlin Ross talked to a UGA freshman about what it's like starting college during a pandemic.
Trinity Brown is a little nervous to move into UGA this Saturday, but mainly she's excited. The business management major says she's going to make the most of her freshman year, even though she knows it's going to look a lot different.
Just my bathroom stuff, my bed stuff, just cleaning supplies.
Trinity Brown is organized. Her boxes and her nerves are packed up for Athens on Saturday.
A little bit of nerves and a little bit of excitement just put together as one.
She says she's received dozens of emails from UGA this week, from the dining hall, professors, and the dorms about what moving in will look like.
We pull up and the students come. They go in the building and fill out all the information to get like our room cards, our UGA cards.
The university is only allowing 4 people per hour to move their things into each dorm, so she had to sign up for a specific time slot to get settled. She'll also have to sign up to eat meals on campus. If she wants to eat in the dining hall, she's only allowed to enter with a reservation.
As a freshman, that's where I thought was going to be like majority of my friends at. But now that's a little bit limited.
She's glad the university is taking all of these precautions, though, and understands they need to take COVID-19 seriously. Some other UGA students are more worried about the virus, hosting a die-in on campus last week. They didn't think students should return to campus in person at all. But Trinity thinks it all comes down to people adhering to the guidelines already laid out.
If people follow the rules, I do. Because I even social distance anyway, like I get my mask on and everything, but if people aren't following the rules, obviously that's exposure.
We had a lot of heat around today. High temperatures in Atlanta made it up to 94 degrees, plenty of moisture in place, and that's bubbling up some scattered showers. We actually have more activity now in the evening hours than what we had late in the afternoon. Let me break down some of those spots that are getting some of that heaviest rain right now. And these don't have a lot of movement with them. They're just kind of drifting over to the east a little bit. Here in the northern part of the city, just inside the perimeter on the north side, we had some thunder and lightning a few minutes ago, just south of Sandy Springs around the Buckhead area. That is starting to weaken, not as heavy as it was, but still some good moderate rain there. Head up 85 into Gwinnett County from Norcross, stretching up toward Lawrenceville. We have these pockets of heavy rain right around the Lilburn area as well, getting closer to Snellville. And then that extends up into Buford, Sugar Hill, and then some showers. These with thunder and lightning as well in the southern parts of Forsyth County, North Fulton County, and then even more over to the east. And these are a little more intense here as you get past Campton, the northern parts of Walton County, also into Oconee County here, Barrow County, Jackson County, Clark County, and also up into parts of Madison County. Some heavy rain and thunder and lightning. And with all of this from North Atlanta back over toward the Athens area, we have about 125 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. At the top of the hour, when I showed you this earlier, it was 137. So that's come down just a little bit, but not a lot there. And then over on the west side, another cluster of showers and storms from Polk County, Haralson County, Carroll County, Douglas, South Fulton, also into parts of Coweta County. We have some heavy rain and thunder and lightning with that. That extends down into the northern parts of Troup County near Hogansville and also into Meriwether County. We have about 68 lightning strikes with this, if you include the lightning that's near Cleburne and Randolph County back into Alabama. So some spots getting heavy rain and thunder and lightning, whereas other folks in North Georgia and areas south and the east in the city are dry right now and hot. Here's a live look. This is our tower cam in Gwinnett County looking toward the west, and you can see one of those rain shafts with the heavy rain just west of Duluth, and it looked really cool just a few minutes ago as you could see the sun setting or close to the horizon here beyond this rain shaft, but now that rain is a little bit too heavy and it's obscuring that vision. Now this is a picture sent in by one of our 11 Alive community storm trackers, Craig Nassau in Decula. Look at this, that heavy rain and lightning. I just told you about all those lightning strikes that we have near the Decula area. And then this is from Lynn Hart in Lawrenceville with a shower just a little bit earlier. She saw a double rainbow coming through there, so that's a beautiful sight to see as well. Now take a look at these temperatures. Here in Atlanta, we're still at 88 degrees where we have not had any rain at the airport, but up in Duluth, you've cooled down to 81. Athens with some rain there, the rain cooled air got you to 73 degrees, and in Carrollton at 77. Meanwhile, it's still 91 in Rome, so a wide range of temperatures all around. The places that have rain are cooler. The places that don't have rain are still hot. We're going to go with the 5 on the wazometer tomorrow. A high holding below 90, 89, as we'll see more clouds around and have a little better chance for some showers during the day tomorrow. Tomorrow's rain chance isn't just in the afternoon. We'll see these evening showers tonight, and even in the morning there's going to be a chance for a few spotty showers around. At lunchtime, maybe a couple of showers, but the better chance really is in the afternoon hours. Could have some thunder and lightning with that lingering into the evening, even overnight Friday into Saturday. And then Saturday, more clouds around, and we're still going to hold on to that 60% chance for showers on your Saturday. And then finally, the second half of the weekend, the drier air starts to move in. We have a 60% chance for showers Friday and Saturday, highs in the 80s. Back to the low 90s Sunday and Monday with a 20% chance for showers. There's some drier air in place. And then a 30% chance for showers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with those high temperatures next week. For a big part of the week, we think they're going to hold in the mid-80s.
Chris, thank you. Born August 2nd, 1915, Helen Mangum shares the same birth year with Frank Sinatra and Billie Holiday. The Pike County woman has lived through 2 world wars and 17 presidents, all in the same town where she was born. Well, this year for her birthday, her granddaughter enlisted help from thousands of people all over the world. 11 Alive's Brittany Kleinpeter has the story.
And we ask the entire world if they would help us celebrate your 105th birthday. All right, so they were all very happy to respond. So you could open your eyes now.
On Helen Mangum's 105th birthday, she was surrounded by friends, family, and more than 10,000 birthday cards.
I decided that, what if I just reach out through social media and just see, how many birthday cards I can get her from around the world.
Mangum's granddaughter says she made a plea on Facebook asking for people to send her grandmother well wishes for her milestone birthday. And from there, the post took off, reaching people as far as Europe and even Asia.
You have, between Facebook and cards and presents, you have probably about 10,000 well wishes for your 105th birthday.
She saw all of those cards and she just, put her head in her hands, and I don't think I have ever seen her react that way towards anything.
Her granddaughter tells me that Mangum's secret to a long life is good genes. Apparently, longevity runs in the family.
Her sisters are 103, 101, and 94 or 95.
Mangum's mother and grandmother both lived into their 90s. Her and her siblings earned a Guinness World Record for the oldest siblings in the world in 2016. Vickers says her grandmother is still going through piles of cards as more come in each day. She says she thinks this was her best birthday yet. The 105-year-old even received an autographed photo from Vanna White and Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune. Apparently, it's one of her favorite shows. So far, she's received between 13,000 and 15,000 birthday cards.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both.
Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of...
No patrons at the Masters, no Big Ten and Pac-12 football in the fall. Some very big developments in both sports and politics. I'm joined by national columnist Ron Hart. So Ron, what does the Masters look like without patrons? Very strange world indeed.
Yeah, it'll be different. Probably good. I don't mind golf on TV with no patrons, but I had tickets this year. The good news is they roll them over to next year. So people that had tickets will get to go next year in April. It could be, pretty soon actually if they get back on schedule. But yeah, it's, the whole sports situation is going to be an odd one. If the Big Ten doesn't have football, in the SEC, I guess the ACC is not going to have football, so Georgia won't play Georgia Tech unless they do it on Zoom or something, which actually would give Georgia Tech the first advantage ever for this technology and engineering.
Ron, I see a Vanderbilt helmet behind you. Those Vanderbilt degrees are one of the most prestigious in the world. The helmets, not so much.
Not so much. No, they need helmets there. Yeah, kids with the school there. I love Vanderbilt. I've always been a Vanderbilt fan, so it's a tough one. University of Memphis has actually become a pretty good football program and kind of fun to watch. But Vanderbilt, don't know if they belong in the SEC. They play everybody's homecoming. If you go to Vanderbilt and play football, you can recognize a homecoming float.
In my next life, I'm coming back with a Vanderbilt degree. I'm going to be much more successful, I'm telling you. What will the SEC do now, and how will college football look this fall with only some of the conferences playing? What do you think?
The SEC is a strong, football conference. People like their sport. I hope they stand firm and do it. I mean, these are very strong kids who can withstand some COVID if it happens. If there's an outbreak, just shut it down. But they need to go ahead and do it and maybe set the tone for the rest of the country. I like the idea of different conferences doing different things and see what the outcomes are, because we won't know until they do it.
Where is the debate going on mail-in ballots for voting in November, do you think?
The Postal Service, as we know, has always been reliable, so I don't see anything, Jeff, that could go wrong with that. So I was just curious, on my 6 ballots, should I mail them in the same day, or should I try to space them out a little bit? I don't know. I got to make a decision pretty soon.
When I think about the post office, I think about the fact that you and I's picture has been displayed in that mugshot portal there for many years.
Yeah, social media a lot, really. Right.
All right. Also, Metro Atlanta schools have opened. That is a wild card right now. Hard to tell how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, I saw Tower Liquors store the other day had a back-to-school sale on booze. I think parents are really happy. I think they got to do it. Again, like the football players, these kids are very resilient to COVID. They need to get back in school. We can't do this forever. Look, there's a certain amount of risk every time you walk out the door out there. These risks are very de minimis. If it gets bad, they can shut them down. I think it's mostly the teachers' unions that didn't want to go back. I think the parents wanted their kids in school. And most of them have the option to do online or go back. So I like choices, and I like people trying new things. Let's see how it goes.
All right, so we've had a segment with Tower Liquors reference, with a Vanderbilt football reference, and with mugshots at the post office. I'm telling you, we have touched all the bases in this segment.
Solid work, really a solid.
Thank you, Ron Hart. We'll see you down the road.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Parents in Gwinnett County are upset over a photo in their children's yearbook. They say it showed students making a racist gesture. Archie Newhurst spoke with parents to get their reaction, and he also has more on what the district now plans to do about it.
Some parents in the state's largest school district reached out to Dyer Elementary with concerns this week. It's all because of what they saw in their kids' yearbook.
As a parent, you don't want your kids to be exposed to these type of gestures or these type of racial underlinings.
We've blurred the faces of the students and their gestures in this yearbook photo. The yearbooks are from last school year, but due to the pandemic, the yearbooks were sent home this week. Some of the kids were photographed pulling their eyes back, making them smaller, a gesture Thomas Zhang says is racist against Asian people. B. Zhang's sons also go to Dyer Elementary.
They may not know what it means, but we as an adult know what that means. We grew up in that environment where we were made fun of.
Stephanie Cho is the executive director of civil rights group Asian Americans Advancing Justice Atlanta. She thinks the gesture is less common nowadays, but still has the same meaning.
It's sort of a resurgence of old school racism.
Gwinnett County Public Schools released a statement. It reads in part, "We see this as a teachable moment for our students, helping them to understand that their actions can hurt others, even if they don't intend to offend."
We're first generation Asian Americans, and we were going through this process. I don't want my kids to go through the same process.
After we reached out to the district, Thomas says the Gwinnett County Schools called him to offer a written apology. The district says it plans to review the school's yearbook processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard about something like this year. In June, you might remember a Gwinnett County high school had to investigate how another racist photo made it into a yearbook. The photograph shows a student posing with an image of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. while holding a notebook that reads, quote, "official N-word pass." The district called it unacceptable and they reprinted the yearbooks.
In-person instruction looking a lot different this year. Schools are rearranging classrooms, figuring out new ways to keep learning safe during a pandemic. Christy Diaz taking you on a virtual tour through schools in 3 districts, showing you what it looks like going back to school now.
When 80% of students opted for in-person learning, North Forsyth High School principal Bob Carnaroli had to get creative.
We try to go through every single scenario.
Like putting lunch tables in a hallway.
So normally you would have 5 or 6 kids sitting at one of these round tables, and now we're only going to have 3.
He knew keeping 2,200 kids safe and healthy each day was going to be a challenge, so he asked students and teachers to weigh in.
Sounds like it was a real collaborative effort.
It was a collaborative effort.
They put up a QR code to act as a hall pass and keep track of students who need to leave the classroom.
You know, it's just one less thing students have to touch.
Attached mobile hand sanitizers to the sides of all snack machines and hung plastic curtains between the teacher and students in the foreign language classes, where looking at someone's mouth is important.
Please respect these markings when getting your lunch.
The student council even made this video to get everyone on board.
I want kids to feel excited about coming back to school, which I think they're going to be. But we do have some new routines in place that are going to hopefully keep Raider Nation safe as long as possible.
Over at St. John Newman Catholic School,
Good morning, Rita. How are you feeling?
they've already been practicing their new protocols. Inside, they installed plasma air filters throughout the building to kill germs in the air.
I think it has a 99.4% kill rate in 30 minutes.
Added bottle fillers to use instead of water fountains, and limited classrooms to small numbers of students.
We did hire additional staff so that we have 15 children in every classroom.
Down in Fayette County, they ran through a mock first day to make sure everything was perfect before the students got there, showing the exact routine students will have to go through to get inside the building. Safety measures they know may feel strange and unfamiliar at first, but will help students stay in the classroom as long as possible.
On 11alive.com, there is a helpful list of measures that school districts are taking to keep kids safe. It includes things like when the year begins and if there are masks that are required. You can find it on our website or 11alive.com.
We're not seeing a lot of movement in these showers that we've been tracking for you, and that means the places that are getting rain are getting a lot of it because they're just not moving away. They're pretty much raining themselves out. As you can see as we put this into motion, these on the west side are drifting a little bit over to the east. The ones here in Gwinnett County are also maybe drifting to the east just a little bit too. This stretches from 85 north out of the perimeter area, and we still have a little bit of light rain in North Atlanta. But as you go up into Gwinnett County, up 85, you see some of these showers stretching from Lilburn over towards Snellville and Lawrenceville. Some of these that are stretching up toward the Duluth area. And then this lightning has just intensified up around Big Creek in the southern parts of Forsyth County. More of this extending up over toward Buford and then over into areas of Barrow County as well. A break in Brazelton now as you had some of those heavier showers a little bit earlier, and things aren't as intense closer to Athens now. The heaviest rain has pushed down into the northern parts of Walton County and also into Oconee County, where we still have some of that lightning that is here with us. Now about 142 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes out of this red box. And as you can see on the west side, we're still dealing with some showers. These growing a little bit more, kind of extending over into Douglas County right now, where we've got a little bit of lightning. Also into South Fulton, some lightning right there along 85 as you're going into Coweta County. More lightning here in Coweta County too. About 55 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes here. And then North Georgia, most places are dry, and also south and east of the city we have some drier air too. This is a live look. This is looking over the Infinite Energy Arena. It got so dark there it made the lights come on there at the arena, and you can see the dark clouds there and the heavy rain that's coming in. There was some lightning. Did y'all see that? A flash of lightning as we're looking more down toward the south right now at that heavier rain that is moving on through. We're going to see those higher rain chances going through the next couple of days with slightly lower temperatures. And then we're also watching the tropics as we have a tropical storm and another potential tropical system in the Atlantic. We'll talk about it in a few minutes.
President Trump staunchly against the idea of universal mail-in voting. He has said so many times over the past couple of weeks. And this week he says he would block any proposed funding for the United States Postal Service specifically for this reason.
If they don't get those two items, that means you can't have universal mail-in voting because they're not equipped to have it.
His comments immediately drawing criticism about making it harder for Americans to vote, particularly during a pandemic.
There are people who think that the post office is election central in this election. Maybe the president thinks that too, and that's why he wants to shut it down.
By law, Congress has the right to decide how much funding the Postal Service gets. We spoke with an assistant professor of constitutional law at Georgia State University who says it's troubling when a political goal touches on a fundamental right.
What is really acutely problematic here is that the President of the United States is saying that he does not want to fund a federal agency for the sole purpose of making voting harder.
Voter rights organizations are talking about this attempt to dismantle the USPS as just another form of voter suppression.
You know, particularly as Georgians, we lost a great legend in John Lewis recently, who was a tireless advocate for voting rights in the streets and in the halls of Congress. And I think we have a particular duty as Georgians to respect John Lewis's legacy and to not only expand voting rights through legislation, but to ensure that the mechanisms and the infrastructure is there, that voting is easier and not harder.
Is there any legal recourse?
In terms of constitutional remedies, we're really, out of luck here. This is a political question, and the resolution will come through the political process.
The U.S. Constitution protects against voter discrimination based on age, race, or sex. Professor Kreis says that most people are surprised there is not a right to vote expressly written in the Constitution.
The attacks have already begun against Senator Kamala Harris, Joe Biden's pick for vice president. But some of the criticisms are coming from fellow Democrats.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
President Trump is sharpening his attacks against Senator Kamala Harris as the Biden-Harris campaign kicks into gear.
Some are accusing his attacks of being about race, as he called her angry and a mad woman.
And now you have a sort of a mad woman, I call her, because she was so angry and such hatred with Justice Kavanaugh.
Chuck Schumer.
She is also getting some criticism from both Democrats and Republicans, one side saying she's too far left, the other saying she wasn't progressive enough during her time as a prosecutor in California.
Working first in Oakland, then elected as San Francisco's district attorney, Harris eventually was the first black woman to become Attorney General of California. A former member of San Francisco's police commission, which oversees the police department, says she wasn't the progressive ally she promised to be in her campaign.
I believe that she did not do enough to hold law enforcement accountable.
Frankly, there are those who would like to put my experience as a prosecutor into a negative. But I'm going to tell you, as a prosecutor, I am very proud of my record.
As a state's attorney general, Harris did not intervene in a series of high-profile officer-involved shootings. And in 2004, she refused to seek the death penalty for a man who killed a San Francisco officer. But she has also received praise for creating a state database of crime statistics and requiring state Justice Department agents to wear body cameras. Still, Democrats who have their criticisms are now calling for others to rally around her to win the November election.
The Verify team is looking into viral claims that Senator Harris would be ineligible to become president because her parents are foreign born. Is that true? Here is Evan Kozlov.
Politics can be messy, and misinformation is commonplace. And that's why the Verify team is here to stick with the facts. Just moments after Joe Biden announced Kamala Harris as his running mate, the online rumors began. Just look at this post on Facebook calling her ineligible. Quote, all presidents must be the product of citizen parents, but Kamala Harris is not. So let's verify. Do your parents need to be citizens of the United States in order for you to qualify to be president? Our sources are Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution. This 2011 report from the Congressional Research Service.
My name is Lawrence Solom.
And this law professor from the University of Virginia School of Law. Let's start with the Constitution, which has the following requirements to be a president or a vice president. You must be at least 35 years old. You must have lived in the United States for at least 14 years. And then this.
You must be a natural born citizen.
Solom says that there is still some debate about if natural born applies to children born to U.S. citizens overseas, but he says it gets a lot more simple for those born here in the United States.
What everyone agrees, if you're born on American soil, you are a natural born citizen.
And so you would be eligible to run for president.
You're
or vice
eligible
president.
to run for president or vice president.
And since Kamala Harris was born in California, that makes her eligible, regardless of the fact that her parents were foreign born. So we can verify that this rumor is false. Kamala Harris is eligible to become president.
You know, these showers just don't want to let up right now. They're weakening a little bit on the west side, but these north and east of the city still have some really heavy rain and a lot of lightning with them. Let's start there as we go up 85 north into Gwinnett County. Really heavy rain from Lawrenceville stretching down towards Snellville and then to the north of and east or north and west of 85 here in parts of North Gwinnett County, extending into the southern parts of Forsyth County. Very heavy rain with thunder and lightning. This is going to be on the south end of Lake Lanier really soon, headed up toward Buford. And this is the second wave in some spots where Lawrenceville already had some heavy rain earlier, and now here's more that's coming in. Then we have this heavier rain of a lot of lightning east of Lawrenceville as you get over closer to the Winder area and into the Barrow County line, Walton County line here as well, with that heavy rain that extends over into parts of Barrow County. Not as much going on in Athens and Clark County, but in Oconee County near Watkinsville, also here in Walton County, some really heavy rain with thunder and lightning there too. Another check of the lightning count, 152 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. So those lightning counts are kind of coming up and down, not really showing any sign of letting up yet. If that was letting up, we would see that lightning number coming down. In Atlanta, a couple of showers on the north side, a little bit there on the east side of the perimeter in DeKalb County, just north of 285. And then over on the west side here, outside of the perimeter, out I-20 into Douglas County, very heavy rain with thunder and lightning. South Fulton County, you've got some lightning near the Fairburn area. Also in Polk County and Cedartown, Bremen, Haralson County, Carroll County, seeing some of that lightning. And down in Coweta County, you see some lightning too. We've got about 63 lightning strikes here in the past 15 minutes. And then some breaks in the action in North Georgia. It's just this bit right here along the I-85 corridor and also out I-20 on the west side and out Highway 78 on the east side as well is where we have that heaviest rain that's moving through. Here's a live look. This is in Coweta County in Newnan, where we do have some heavy rain that's been coming down right now. This was showing up a little bit better when it was lighter earlier. Now the sun has gone down and we got some really dark clouds out there too, but rain coming through Coweta County. Now tomorrow, we're going to see another chance for rain. In fact, it's going to be a little bit higher with about a 60% chance for showers tomorrow. 89 for the high. We'll give that a 5 on the wasometer. Tonight, we're going to see those showers kind of taking a while to fall apart and a few showers even lingering into the overnight hours. In the morning, mostly cloudy skies here, and then at lunchtime mostly cloudy, beginning to see a few of those showers redeveloping, and tomorrow's rain chance is going to be at about 60%, and a lot of those will be lingering into the evening hours again, and even some overnight. And then Saturday morning, a few showers even early at lunchtime, and then after lunch, about a 60% chance for showers on Saturday too. Then some drier air begins to move in for your Sunday, so the second half of the weekend is looking better. Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Josephine. Maximum sustained winds at 45 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 16. Take a look at this track. We do think it's going to strengthen a little bit, up to 60-mile-an-hour winds by late Friday into early Saturday, and then during the day Saturday back to 50-mile-an-hour winds. And then look how the intensity decreases and it actually starts to fall apart and becomes a tropical depression on Monday and on Tuesday as it starts to curve away from the southeastern coastline. So we don't think that this system is going to become a hurricane, and we don't think it's going to make landfall anywhere either before it falls apart. There's another system we're watching off the coast of North Carolina. The latest that we got in after 8 o'clock from the Hurricane Center is that this now has a 30 to 40% chance of development over the next 5 days. The good news is it'll be moving away from land, so we don't expect it to cause any big-time impacts on the Atlantic coastline. There you see that 60% chance for showers Friday and Saturday. Temperatures in the 80s, and then a 20% chance for showers Sunday and Monday with that drier air in place. We're back to the lower 90s. And then a 30% chance for showers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And it looks like high temperatures for much of next week will be in the mid and some upper 80s.
All right, here's an update. Golf living on at Candler Park, more than a century old. There had been a lot of speculation that perhaps the city was going to make sure that this was an opportunity for people to have more green space. Thus, golfers were not going to have the opportunity to do their thing. Well, that is not going to happen. The city has lifted this plan where every Monday it's closed to golf and people can picnic and hang out on the greens, bring their dogs, their bikes, all of that kind of thing. Golfers throwing fits about it, totally unhappy about it. There has been petition drives against it. I've been contacted, did a thing on Facebook about it. And for now, the city says that's not going to happen anymore. These are the pictures of people picnicking during times when people are playing golf, making them crazy and also putting them at risk of getting hit by a golf ball, which can cause great injury and even death. So that is over as far as Candler Park Golf goes, and Chastain as well.
Black-owned businesses disappearing at an alarming rate. Next, 2 women have come up with a plan to help save them before some go away for good.
Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime.
Nearly 16,000 restaurants across the country have been shut down because of COVID-19. A new study shows that Black-owned businesses shutting down twice as fast. A 10-year-old Atlanta staple was almost one of them. Hope Florida shares how two young women that the owner had never met stepped in to help him out.
You know, when they talk about the pandemic, they talk about those that had pre-existing conditions are the ones that are hit hardest by the actual virus. As a Black-owned business with very limited access to capital, you have a pre-existing condition. Our chances of survival were a lot slimmer.
Will Turner's owned the food truck Blaxican for 10 years. In 2016, he opened a freestanding restaurant. And 4 years later, the restaurant became a casualty of the pandemic.
We had to close our doors for 4 months.
Little did he know, Alexis Acarolo and Z Clark were coming up with a plan.
There's a bigger problem helping the Black community.
The two started a GoFundMe to help businesses damaged from riots after the police killing of George Floyd.
We had reached about $100,000 in like 2 days.
Taking that money, the pair started the nonprofit Rebuild the Block, helping Black-owned businesses stay open during COVID. Turner received one of the nonprofit's grants, about $2,500. A small grant from two women Turner has never met is what will keep his food truck rolling until the end of the year.
So y'all keep doing it the way that you're doing it. Don't listen to the critics. Don't listen to any of the naysayers. Every little bit helps.
I almost was brought to tears just now because I was just like, wow. Like I didn't realize that we really are helping. It feels so, it's a satisfaction that I can't even explain.
Sister girl, if y'all have gave me $500, that would have been $500 less that I had to worry about, and that is a blessing.
So far for the month of August, Rebuild the Block received 57 applications for grants. It feels like just about everything is different due to COVID, even getting out the vote. The creative tactics being deployed here in Metro Atlanta to get people registered.
COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe?
Many of our routines have changed during this pandemic, and doctors say that includes more people putting off important health screenings and procedures.
Cancer doesn't stop for a pandemic. That's the message behind a new study published in the Journals of the American Medical Association. It found a significant decline in newly identified patients with 6 of the most common cancers: breast, colorectal, lung, pancreatic, gastric, and esophageal. The study found a 46.4% plunge in diagnoses across all cancers compared to cases before the pandemic. Earlier this year, the American Society of Clinical Oncology recommended screenings that require in-person visits like mammograms or colonoscopies be postponed to conserve resources and reduce patient exposure. But researchers are now concerned that that will lead to later diagnoses when the cancer is more advanced, leading to complications and worse outcomes. The study referenced previous research warning of a potential increase of 33,890 possibly preventable cancer deaths in the United States. So what should you do? The American Cancer Society says to speak with your healthcare provider about your personal history to weigh the risks and benefits of a screening. But the organization also notes screenings are different from tests, and symptoms of cancer warrant consultation with a doctor about what to do.
And this trend has been found in other countries as well. The Netherlands Cancer Registry saw a 40% decline in weekly cancer indices, and the United Kingdom saw a 75% decline in referrals for suspected cancer cases since its COVID-19 restrictions were put in place.
Right now in prime time in the 9 o'clock hour, a Georgia lawmaker wants coronavirus testing on the books for the General Assembly. We look into what his proposed law could do and whether it would help any. Healthcare disparity hurting Atlanta's diverse community. How the city's mayor is digging into this deeply rooted issue.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Georgians have 53 days left to register to vote in the presidential election, but with political rallies limited due to COVID, going door to door is out of the question. Joe Hankey learned Get Out the Vote organizations are looking elsewhere to find new voters.
There's energy and enthusiasm, and people want to register to vote, and people want to have these conversations.
Nsé Ufot, CEO of the New Georgia Project, says despite the pandemic, they are registering thousands of new voters.
What it's meant is instead of going to, A, B, and C lunches at, the local neighborhood high school, it meant that we did a Fortnite tournament, which is the most popular video game in the world.
Ufot says the online Fortnite tournament in July, plus phone calls, texts, social media, having volunteers at recent protests and COVID-19 response events such as food handouts has all led to 30,000 new voter registrations this year.
We've had to take to doing online registering, providing QR codes, Bitly links, and just keeping a close eye on how we could get them still engaged and involved and ready to vote.
Ariel Singleton says Georgia Stand Up has registered 9,000 voters this year. And because of the pandemic, many conversations cover how to vote absentee.
The importance of having a voter plan, as we call it, knowing how many days you need to request your absentee ballot, how many days before the election you need to request it. Once you get it, returning it in, what's the deadline of turning it in.
And Facebook users starting today will see the Voting Information Center.
There's a lot of changing information and a lot of concerns that people might have about making sure that they're voting in the way, that makes sense for them.
Lori Moylan with Facebook says the new feature lets voters register to vote, receive election updates and alerts for their state, and vote by mail instructions. Facebook's goal is to register 4 million voters nationwide. 160 million people are expected to see the new Voting Information Center.
Hopefully a good portion of those 160 million, if they are unregistered, will follow those steps and make sure that they can go vote in November.
A leading Georgia lawmaker plans to introduce a bill requiring same-day COVID testing for Georgians at no cost. He says it could come up during an upcoming special session of the General Assembly. 11 Alive's Doug Richards looks at the idea and whether it could actually work.
The question here would be, if the law were to say that COVID testing had to have results within a day, would labs actually be able to do that? Healthcare workers in Georgia have administered nearly 2 million COVID-19 tests since the first case was confirmed here 21 weeks ago. Typically, folks getting tested have to wait days or sometimes weeks for results, which blunts the medical value of the test.
When I was tested as a legislator, I had to wait several business days for the results.
Republican Chuck Efstration chairs one of the House Judiciary Committees and sponsored the hate crimes bill signed into law a few weeks ago. He says he's writing a bill that would require COVID testing to be free of charge for every resident of the state and to turn results in less than a day.
That's how we can truly get a grasp on the expansiveness or who's at risk and how we can address this problem.
If same-day testing were possible, don't you think we'd be doing it already?
The technology is advancing all the time. So the opportunities as we have advancements in technology for same-day testing is something that I expect.
Experts say backlogs in test results are mostly because of labs overwhelmed with tests coming from sites across the state. But officials say the state has expanded its lab capacity in recent weeks and that testing technology is improving. Epidemiologist Colin Smith says the question is whether the state can afford it.
It could be done if there is actually the resources available, the technology available, and the funds available to speed up the process.
Representative Efstration says he would expect the state to use emergency funding already appropriated and to request federal funding to speed up and pay for faster COVID testing in Georgia.
Doug and the other members of the 11 Alive political team are working throughout this big election year, keeping you up to date on the issues impacting your life and community. If you have a story you think we should cover, email us, whereatlspeaks@11alive.com.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. We have about 600 people right now on Facebook Live. A lot of them are telling me about what they're experiencing with some of these pockets of heavy rain and thunder and lightning. We even have a new flash flood warning that was issued for parts of northern Walton County and Oconee County. Let me break down for you what we're watching right now. We have two areas here northeast of the city and more over on the west side. I want to start with these east of the city because we've been dealing with some very heavy rain. Gwinnett County has been getting hit pretty hard here with this heavy rain, thunder and lightning. Right now this stretches up toward Buford, up into Forsyth County, South Hall on the south end of Lake Lanier, having some thunder and lightning with that. That goes through Lawrenceville, down into Snellville, and even more down into parts of northern Rockdale County. And then as you move over into Barrow County and also Walton County, another cluster of really heavy rain and lightning from Monroe to Campton and to the east of Monroe, getting into parts of Oconee County where they had heavy rain earlier. Athens, you've started to die down a little bit as it's not quite as heavy. Our Doppler radar can estimate how much rain has fallen, and I want to show you this. You see this green polygon right here? This is a flash flood warning that's in effect for the northern parts of Walton County and into these areas of Oconee County, right around Eastville. This yellow bullseye you see right there, we've had an estimate of 3.5 inches of rain, and that can cause some flash flooding in those spots. So again, this is showing some of those areas of 3+ inches of rain up to the north at the Jackson County line, about 2.5 inches of rain. Also, this in around Lawrenceville, more than 2 inches of rain has fallen in a short period of time. So this is that warning for Oconee and Walton until 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, we've got a lot of lightning with this too. 141 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. Here in the city, we're okay, but just to the west of us in South Bolton County into Douglas County, another cluster with very heavy rain and thunder and lightning along I-20. This goes into Polk County, Haralson County, Carroll County, also down into Coweta County as well, and about 82 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes, and these are drifting over toward the east. Not a lot of movement with these showers and storms. That's why they're seeing a lot of heavy rain. Not a lot happening in North Georgia. Most places are dry there. I want to give you this live picture really quick. Take a look at this. This is in Coweta County. I've been keeping an eye on this because I've been seeing a lot of lightning in the distance here as we're looking now over kind of toward the north and east beyond the courthouse. Lightning is starting to let up just a little bit there. There you saw just a couple of flashes there in the background. Stay with us. I'm going to keep tracking these storms for you, let you know when they'll die out, and let you know when more will redevelop tomorrow.
COVID-19 cases are declining in Georgia. That's what the latest numbers show. Just more than 2,500 new cases reported today. That's an improvement, but shows the virus is still widespread and deadly. 82 additional deaths recorded in the state today. Testing numbers dropped slightly today, but overall they show our weekly average positivity rate is falling. It's now at 9.72%. The goal is less than 5%. So we talk a lot about frontline heroes and first responders in the coronavirus pandemic. We're talking doctors, nurses, scientists, but there are also many unsung heroes working on the back lines amid the death, the loss, and the aftermath. New tonight on Primetime, Savannah 11 shows us life as a last responder.
Wow. I've been looking for body bags for about 3 months. Can't find body bags because they are saying that we're not first responders, so we're not first on the list to get that equipment.
Carol Williams is working nonstop these days.
I am the executive director for the National Funeral Directors and Morticians Association. I watched the news this morning. It is over 157,000 deaths, and each one of those deaths have gone through a funeral home of a crematorium. You have some funeral homes that they're turning families down simply because they do not have the space. Families call you, they're very devastated. I don't have anywhere for my mother to go. And it's very stressful because I can't help you. In some cases, their family members were buried somewhere where they don't want them to be simply because there was no room for them at any funeral home.
Carol says many are forced to cremate their loved ones even if they wanted a burial, just to save space.
It's just devastating.
And beyond the constantly ringing phone, the helplessness is the fear.
I think society forget that when we're dealing with a disease, a virus, that virus is still alive and that person dies. So we still have to make sure that we're protected so we can't get the disease. We need the same PPE that they use in the hospital. Funeral directors need the same thing. We need the mask, we need the face shield, we need the shoe cover. As last responders, because we're the last to get the PPE, we can't get the disinfectants like we need.
So what do you do in the meantime?
Pray and do the best we can. It has really been horrific, but you can't stop. You have to be there.
And another aspect to this story that has so many layers to it, more than 1 in 3 Black women are on the front lines during the pandemic, but they are underpaid for their work. According to the National Women's Law Center, Black women earn 62 cents for every dollar earned by white men. Today is Black Women's Equal Pay Day. According to their research, August 13th marks how far into the year that Black women have to work to earn the same pay that white men earned the year before. Black women nurses, teachers, doctors, just to name a few, are paid 11 to 27% less than white men who are working the same job. Data shows that with this pay gap, Black women with a 40-year career could lose more than $900,000. To close the gap, there are a few things that could be done according to recommendations from the National Women's Law Center and the Economic Policy Institute. At the policy level, so Black women in low-wage jobs can receive higher pay, the federal government can raise the national minimum wage up from its current $7.25 an hour. There also needs to be consistent enforcement of anti-discrimination laws. And in order to prevent discriminatory hiring practices, employers can publish statistics about who they hire and for what positions. Jasmine Tucker, director of the research at the National Women's Law Center, says that companies need to go beyond their social media posts for Black Lives Matter, saying, quote, because if Black Lives Matter, then we need to be hiring Black women and Black men in jobs, and we have to close this wage gap. According to their study, Native American and Latina women experience the wage gap as well, earning a little over 50 cents for every dollar earned by white men. The current wage gap for Black women has not changed in 25 years. Let that sink in. Still to come tonight, the Battery Atlanta pitched as an economic home run for the Braves. So why is the team considering selling some of its major league real estate? The answer coming up after the break. And don't forget, you can always take us on the go. The 11 Alive YouTube channel, we are streaming there for you right now. Subscribe and join the conversation. We've got more 11 Alive news in prime time coming up on the other side of the break.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on.
The pandemic is shining a light on a really deep-rooted issue for a lot of communities: racial and ethnic disparities in healthcare. CDC data shows Black, Hispanic, Latino, and American Indian or Alaskan natives are at a higher risk of being diagnosed, hospitalized, or killed by the virus. 11 Alive looked at the numbers here in Atlanta. For every 67 white people who get the virus, there are 98 Black people with COVID-19. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms issuing an administrative order today to address that. It directs the chiefs of the city's chief health officer to report on the disparities, bring together an advisory council to draw up recommendations, create a mask-wearing campaign, and schedule a series of town hall discussions. The first town hall, focusing on COVID-19 and emotional wellness among women, will be in conjunction with World Mental Health Day, Saturday, October 10th. We are digging more into the city's new measures coming up tonight on Up Late at 11 on 11 Alive. Inequality also causing a really big divide when it comes to digital learning. Clayton County has been on a campaign for months now to make sure kids there have the necessary tools to start virtual learning next week. So the students' district there, assistance goes as far beyond just a laptop and Wi-Fi access. Naima Abdullahi takes a closer look at how they're bridging that divide.
As the North Clayton community tries to bridge the socioeconomic gap during the virtual learning process, the school buses are a creative way to get the meals to the students. Breakfast and lunch are still being offered to students at North Clayton Middle School, but through pickup outside of the school using social distancing. And for families who can't come to the school, bus drivers deliver the meals. Going the extra mile is a lifeline for many families who rely on the meals as a resource for their households. Principal Shakira Rice says equity and access are a top priority in a zip code that's considered one of the most vulnerable and impoverished zip codes in Metro Atlanta. That's why the school has community partners to help families with rental and utility assistance during the pandemic. As the school waits for all of their students to be equipped with laptops for virtual learning, Principal Rice says they're motivated to make ends meet.
I think it's very important for us to help remove those barriers, and not the school alone. It's important for the entire community to pull together right now.
The school says right now they're focused on building a virtual experience, like utilizing Instagram and Bitmojis to make learning fun for their students.
We're all together and we're all learning the same way. We're all family.
As North Clayton Middle continues to make ends meet, the district says they've issued 35,000 devices to county schools and more are on the way. North Clayton Middle is still working to supply all of their students with laptops. So far, 15 students are still in need for a device.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers of still really heavy rain and thunder and lightning. We've got almost 400 people still on Facebook Live right now, and many folks are saying, Chris, when is this going to rain? It just seems like when is it going to stop raining? It just seems like this stuff won't let up. Pat Davis says we've got a lot of rain in Loganville. Margaret Johnson is saying, will we have storms all night in Monroe? If not, when will it end? It won't be all night. These should be trailing off within the next little while, but this is really taking a long time before they trail off. All right, so let me show you what we're watching on radar. We're beginning to see a few more showers inside the perimeter. So far, the heaviest activity has been north and east of the city from Gwinnett County over into parts of Oconee County and Walton County. Things getting a little better in Lawrenceville. Not as much rain or not as heavy as it was a little bit earlier. Still some heavier showers in Buford. That's extending up into the southern parts of Hall County at the south end of Lake Lanier. Forsyth County, you had some of those showers earlier. Let me take you over to the east. Winder, Barrow County, heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. Right now, the heaviest activity is down here into Walton County, where there's a lot of thunder and lightning. Now, our Doppler radar can estimate how much rain has fallen, and this green polygon that you see right here, circling this bullseye, is where we have a flash flood warning in effect for the northern parts of Walton County and much of Oconee County. This is where we've seen in this spot right here near Eastville, which is right here along Raised Church Road, and in these areas not too far off from Snow's Mill, we've had about 3.5 inches of rain in the past in a short period of time here, and that is causing some flash flooding in those spots. So that flash flood warning is in effect, but we have other areas that have picked up a lot of rain too. Right here on the Jackson-Madison County line, 2.5 inches. Lawrenceville, some spots there picked up more than 2 inches of rain. So some areas have gotten a lot of rain. We're still dealing with lightning. 109 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. That is down a little bit from what we had a little bit earlier, but there's more lightning over the west side. Look at all this on the southwest side of the perimeter. Plenty of lightning right here. That's through South Fulton County over into Douglas County, stretching toward Fairburn, also down toward Coweta County. More lightning in Carroll County, and also some of that back into Alabama too. In this red box, we've had about 97 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. And as you can see, these are just kind of drifting over to the east. They mainly have been developing, and then they rain themselves out. Here's a live look at our tower cam. This is in Coweta County. I know that when I was just on right now, behind my back, you could kind of see that tower cam and some flashes of lightning that were in that. And right now, we're taking a live look. Let's see if we see any more lightning strikes coming through here. This is in Coweta County, looking toward, there you see some of those flashes right there, looking toward the north and east, up towards South Fulton County, where we're seeing a lot of that lightning that's moving through right now, and we're able to see some of that on our tower cam. We also had lightning in Decula earlier. 11 Live Community Storm Tracker Craig Nassau took this picture of the lightning that was coming through there. Now we have 85 in Atlanta, still warm here, but look at these spots. Peachtree City, Carrollton, where you had rain, it's in the 70s. Athens, you had heavy rain earlier in 74. Gainesville, 73. And the spots that didn't have rain, you're still in the mid 80s. Now tomorrow, I don't think we'll hit 90. Today's high was 94. We'll be 89 tomorrow as we'll see more clouds around and some scattered showers. Tonight, we're going to see still a few lingering showers. It will start to let up though in a little while. Mainly dry in the morning, but with mostly cloudy skies. And then tomorrow afternoon, a better chance for some showers to move in, about a 60% chance for rain. Some of that lingering into the evening. And then on Saturday, we're also going to hold on to a 60% chance for those scattered showers. And then finally, drier air is going to move in as we head into the second half of the weekend on Sunday. So look for that 60% chance for showers Friday and Saturday, 20% chance Sunday and Monday, and then back to a 30% chance Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with those high temperatures coming down a little bit back to the mid and some upper 80s for next week.
The new unemployment rate is just over 10%. It was 3.5% before the pandemic, showing how hard it's hitting businesses, including the Atlanta Braves. The team's parent company now forced to consider selling one of its most valuable assets. We are talking about the Battery, the 45-acre multi-use development surrounding Truist Park, made up of shops, restaurants, bars, a lot of fun things around there.
It was talked about as a model for the future of baseball parks, but the Braves' second quarter revenue plunged nearly 95%, largely due to COVID. And our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle report the team still has more than $700 million in debt to pay off the Battery. So Liberty Media is considering selling some of its commercial office and retail space there. But development continues at the Battery, even as the team weighs its options. The 11-story, 3-ballpark center office space set to open next summer. Born on August 2nd, 1915, Helen Mangum shares the same birth year as Frank Sinatra and Billie Holiday. The Pike County woman has lived through 2 world wars and 17 presidents, all in the same town where she was born. This year for her birthday, her granddaughter enlisted the help of thousands from all around the world. 11 Alive's Brittany Klein-Peter has the story.
And we ask the entire world if they would help us celebrate your 105th birthday. All right, so they were all very happy to respond. So you could open your eyes now.
On Helen Mangum's 105th birthday, she was surrounded by friends, family, and more than 10,000 birthday cards.
I decided that, what if I just reach out through social media and just see, how many birthday cards I can get her from around the world.
Mangum's granddaughter says she made a plea on Facebook asking for people to send her grandmother well wishes for her milestone birthday. And from there, the post took off, reaching people as far as Europe and even Asia.
You have, between Facebook and cards and presents, you have probably about 10,000 well wishes for your 105th birthday.
She saw all of those cards and she just, put her head in her hands, and I don't think I have ever seen her react that way towards anything.
Her granddaughter tells me that Mangum's secret to a long life is good genes. Apparently, longevity runs in the family.
Her sisters are 103, 101, and 94 or 95.
Mangum's mother and grandmother both lived into their 90s. Her and her siblings earned a Guinness World Record for the oldest siblings in the world in 2016. Vickers says her grandmother is still going through piles of cards as more come in each day. She says she thinks this was her best birthday yet. The 105-year-old even received an autographed photo from Vanna White and Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune. Apparently, it's one of her favorite shows. So far, she's received between 13 and 15,000 birthday cards.
A big happy birthday. Well, still ahead tonight, starting college is a big step, we know that, but it just got a little more complicated. We caught up with a UGA freshman as she tries to navigate all the new COVID-19 rules around campus.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
UGA college students are heading to campus this weekend with classes starting next week. While living in a dorm, we know that presents its own challenges, right? It is even more difficult now due to COVID. Caitlin Ross talks to a UGA freshman about what it's like starting college during a pandemic.
Trinity Brown is a little nervous to move into UGA this Saturday, but mainly she's excited. The business management major says she's going to make the most of her freshman year, even though she knows it's going to look a lot different.
Just my bathroom stuff, my bed stuff, just cleaning supplies.
Trinity Brown is organized. Her boxes and her nerves are packed up for Athens on Saturday.
A little bit of nerves and a little bit of excitement just put together as one.
She says she's received dozens of emails from UGA this week, from the dining hall, professors, and the dorms about what moving in will look like.
We pull up and the students come. They go in the building and fill out all the information to get like our card, our room cards, our UGA cards.
The university is only allowing 4 people per hour to move their things into each dorm, so she had to sign up for a specific time slot to get settled. She'll also have to sign up to eat meals on campus. If she wants to eat in the dining hall, she's only allowed to enter with a reservation.
As a freshman, that's where I thought was going to be like majority of my friends at. But now that's a little bit limited.
She's glad the university is taking all of these precautions, though, and understands they need to take COVID-19 seriously. Some other UGA students are more worried about the virus, hosting a die-in on campus last week. They didn't think students should return to campus in person at all. But Trinity thinks it all comes down to people adhering to the guidelines already laid out.
If people follow the rules, I do. Because I even social distance anyway, like I get my mask on and everything, but if people aren't following the rules, obviously that's exposure.
A second racist image has popped up in a Gwinnett County Schools yearbook, leaving some wondering, how does this slip past the adults in charge? More on what the district is doing next.
Or at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. on 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more.
Parents in Gwinnett County are upset over a photo in their kids' yearbook. They say it shows students making a racist gesture. Chanu Hurt talked with parents to get their reaction, and he also has more on what the district plans to do about it.
Some parents in the state's largest school district reached out to Dyer Elementary with concerns this week. It's all because of what they saw in their kids' yearbook.
As a parent, you don't want your kids to be exposed to these type of gestures or these type of racial underlinings.
We've blurred the faces of the students and their gestures in this yearbook photo. The yearbooks are from last school year, but due to the pandemic, the yearbooks were sent home this week. Some of the kids were photographed pulling their eyes back, making them smaller, a gesture Thomas Zhang says is racist against Asian people. B. Zhang's sons also go to Dyer Elementary.
They may not know what it means, but we as an adult know what that means. We grew up in that environment where we were made fun of.
Stephanie Cho is the executive director of civil rights group Asian Americans Advancing Justice Atlanta. She thinks the gesture is less common nowadays, but still has the same meaning.
It's sort of a resurgence of old school racism.
Gwinnett County Public Schools released a statement. It reads in part, "We see this as a teachable moment for our students, helping them to understand that their actions can hurt others, even if they don't intend to offend."
We're first generation Asian Americans, and we were going through this process. I don't want my kids to go through the same process.
After we reached out to the district, Thomas says the Gwinnett County Schools called him to offer a written apology. The district says it plans to review the school's yearbook processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. But this isn't the first time we've heard about something like this year. In June, Gwinnett High School had to investigate how another racist photo made it into the yearbook. The picture shows a student posing with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. while holding a notebook that reads, quote, "Official N-word pass." The district called it unacceptable and they reprinted the yearbooks.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers. Folks, this rain is still really heavy out there. We still have a lot of lightning too. We mentioned tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock that our rain chances during the evening were actually going to be higher than they were late afternoon. We're still dealing with heating out there and a lot of moisture around. It's a little disturbance that's moving over us that gives us a really good widespread coverage of rain here in our area. Take a look at what we're watching. Now a lot of the heaviest activity was over to the east of us, is starting to weaken a little bit. And Gwinnett County, it's getting a little bit better now. Still some light rain, just not as heavy as it was earlier. Same thing for Barrow County. Right now the heaviest action is down into Walton County. We do have a flash flood warning in effect in this green polygon that you see right here. That's in effect for the northern parts of Walton County and central Oconee County until 3 in the morning. Look at this bullseye right here near Eastville and down towards Snows Mill. That's where we have some rainfall estimates of about 3.5 inches of rain, and that is enough to cause some flash flooding, so be aware of that. We have other pockets right here on the Jackson-Madison County line of 2.5 inches, and Lawrenceville estimates there of almost 2.5 inches as well. The lightning count starting to come down a little bit. We had more than 100 earlier. Now it's 78 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes on the east side. But then we've got a lot of lightning right here on the west side of the perimeter here, west of Atlanta from Forest Park, stretching up to I-20 down toward Fairburn in the southwestern parts of Fulton County. 147 lightning strikes with this. Very active there. That extends into Fayette County, also back into Douglas County, Carroll County as well. The problem is these storms aren't moving that much at all. They're just kind of drifting over toward the east. So the problem that leads to is a lot of rain that just lingers there before it rains himself out, and that's where we're seeing some very heavy rain that's coming through right now. Here's a live look in Coweta County. I've been keeping an eye on this tower cam because it's been showing a lot of lightning there beyond the courthouse. We've seen some flashes of lightning there as that's looking more toward the Atlanta area. We'll keep an eye on those storms. I'll let you know when they're going to fade out and when we'll see more showers and storms redeveloping tomorrow.
President Trump is staunchly against the idea of universal mail-in voting. He has said so many times. This week he says he would block any proposed funding for the United States Postal Service, specifically for this reason.
If they don't get those two items, that means you can't have universal mail-in voting because they're not equipped to have it.
His comments immediately drawing criticism about making it harder for Americans to vote, especially during a pandemic.
There are people who think that the post office is election central in this election. Maybe the president thinks that too, and that's why he wants to shut it down.
By law, Congress has the right to decide how much funding the Postal Service gets. We spoke with an assistant professor of constitutional law at Georgia State University who says it's troubling when a political goal touches on a fundamental right.
What is really acutely problematic here is that the President of the United States is saying that he does not want to fund a federal agency for the sole purpose of making voting harder.
Voter rights organizations are talking about this attempt to dismantle the USPS as just another form of voter suppression.
You know, particularly as Georgians, we lost a great legend in John Lewis recently, who was a tireless advocate for voting rights in the streets and in the halls of Congress. And I think we have a particular duty as Georgians to respect John Lewis's legacy and to not only expand voting rights through legislation, but to ensure that the mechanisms and the infrastructure is there, that voting is easier and not harder.
Is there any legal recourse?
In terms of constitutional remedies, we're really, out of luck here. This is a political question, and the resolution will come through the political process.
The U.S. Constitution protects against voter discrimination based on age, race, or sex. Professor Kreist says most people are surprised there is not a right to vote expressly written in the Constitution. Well, the attacks have already started against Senator Kamala Harris, Joe Biden's pick for VP, but some of the criticisms are coming from fellow Democrats.
By outside workers. The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house clean?
President Trump is sharpening his attacks against Senator Harris as the Biden-Harris campaign kicks into full gear. Some are accusing his attacks of being about race, as he called her angry and a mad woman.
And now you have a sort of a mad woman, I call her, because she was so angry and such hatred with Justice Kavanaugh.
She's also getting some criticism from both Democrats and Republicans, one side saying she's too far left, the other saying she wasn't progressive enough during her time as a prosecutor in California. Working first in Oakland, then elected as San Francisco's district attorney, she eventually was the first black woman to become Attorney General of California. A former member of San Francisco's police commission, which oversees the police department, says she wasn't the progressive ally she promised to be in her campaign.
I believe that she did not do enough to hold law enforcement accountable.
Frankly, there are those who would like to put my experience as a prosecutor into a negative. But I'm going to tell you, as a prosecutor, I am very proud of my record.
As the state's Attorney General, Harris did not intervene in a series of high-profile officer-involved shootings. And in 2004, she refused to seek the death penalty for a man who killed a San Francisco officer. But she has also received praise for creating a state database of crime statistics and requiring state Justice Department agents to wear body cameras. And still, Democrats who have their criticism are now calling for others to rally around her to win the November election. The Verify team is looking into viral claims that Kamala Harris would be ineligible to become president because her parents are foreign born. But is that true? Here's Kevin Kozlov.
Politics can be messy, and misinformation is commonplace. And that's why the Verify team is here to stick with the facts. Just moments after Joe Biden announced Kamala Harris as his running mate, the online rumors began. Just look at this post on Facebook calling her ineligible. Quote, all presidents must be the product of citizen parents, but Kamala Harris is not. So let's verify. Do your parents need to be citizens of the United States in order for you to qualify to be president? Our sources are Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution. This 2011 report from the Congressional Research Service.
My name is Lawrence Solom.
And this law professor from the University of Virginia School of Law. Let's start with the Constitution, which has the following requirements to be a president or a vice president. You must be at least 35 years old. You must have lived in the United States for at least 14 years. And then this.
You must be a natural born citizen.
Solom says that there is still some debate about if natural born applies to children born to U.S. citizens overseas, but he says it gets a lot more simple for those born here in the United States.
What everyone agrees, if you're born on American soil, you are a natural born citizen.
And so you would be eligible to run for president.
You're
or vice
eligible
president.
to run for president or vice president.
And since Kamala Harris was born in California, that makes her eligible, regardless of the fact that her parents were foreign born. So we can verify that this rumor is false. Kamala Harris is eligible to become president.
If you were watching us tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight, we had just a few isolated showers around, and I was just making sure everybody knew that we would still have a chance this evening of more showers and storms to develop. And I'm glad I did, because we have a lot of this rain that is around right now with thunder and lightning, and some of this with the really heavy rain and some winds around 40 miles an hour in spots. And a lot of this is right on top of us here in Atlanta right now. These are from some showers and storms over on the west side that are just kind of drifting over to the east. And then also over on the east side, we had some intense storms over in Gwinnett County. Those extended over into parts of Barrow County, also into Jackson County, Barrow, and into Walton County here. And things are letting up in Athens. Right now, the heaviest rain is in Monroe, Georgia, in Walton County, extending on down along I-20 into Morgan County, stretching down close to the line there at Newton County and Jasper County as well. We still have a lot of rain here. In fact, so much rain fell in this spot right here. You see this green polygon? This is where we have a flash flood warning in effect for the northern parts of Oconee County into Walton County. This yellow that you see right here, these are areas that have picked up an estimated between almost 3.5 inches of rain from Eastville down towards Snow's Mill, and that can cause some flash flooding. We have other spots who have picked up a lot of rain too. This here up toward the Jackson and Madison County line, about 2.5 inches, and near Lawrenceville we had some areas that picked up a little bit more than between 2 and 2.5 inches of rain there as well. Now we're watching this heavy activity with about 63 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. That lightning count is coming down, so this is showing us that these storms are finally weakening somewhat, but they're still really strong right there along I-20. Now here in Atlanta, inside the perimeter, another batch of really heavy rain coming in with plenty of lightning with that really inside the perimeter, right along the west side. This heavy rain is about to be over on top of us here in Atlanta, and some of that extends back into Douglas County, Carroll County, Heard County, Coweta County, Fayette County. In fact, in this red box that you see right here, we have about 142 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. That is also drifting over to the east. Again, Atlanta about to get some of that heavier rain. Not as much action on the north side, and some breaks a little farther down to the south as well. Let me take you live out there to the airport. This is our tower cam. Really heavy rain coming down right now at Hartsfield-Jackson. And give me 2 seconds here. I want to check really quick the flight delay. All right, so we do have some delays in Atlanta. Gate hold and taxi delays between 46 minutes and an hour and increasing. So we do have some issues with delays down at Hartsfield-Jackson. We've been seeing some good amounts of lightning down there as well. Let me show you what we're going to be watching as we go through the day tomorrow. Now, we're going to be dealing with these showers tonight. They will finally begin to diminish. It's just taking them a while to rain themselves out, and then more showers will redevelop tomorrow. 89 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow. I think it will stay below 90, and we'll have scattered showers redeveloping. You can see these showers tonight hanging with us for a while, and then they should be diminishing by tomorrow morning. Good coverage of clouds around, better coverage of clouds during the day tomorrow. That's going to keep a lot of that sun and warming out of our area. So I don't think we'll hit 94 like we did today. We'll be in the upper 80s, but scattered showers tomorrow in the afternoon and evening. And then some of those linger into Saturday. And Saturday, we're going to have a good coverage of rain around too, about a 60% chance for showers Saturday. And then finally on Sunday, some drier air starts to filter in behind this system. Still watching our tropical storm out in the Atlantic. Most likely it's not going to become a hurricane, and we don't really see a landfall with this system. It becomes a tropical depression curving away from the southeastern coast of the United States. But something we'll watch for you. 60% chance for showers Friday and Saturday, highs in the upper 80s. And then 90 degrees Sunday and Monday. Drier air, only a 20% chance for showers Sunday and Monday. So I think a lot of us won't get any rain on those days. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, back to a 30% chance for showers with those high temperatures in the mid and upper 80s.
The 15th Annual Atlanta Sports Awards are this Saturday on our sister station, 11 Alive. We'll have a lot of special guests you'll have to tune in to see what's that all about. Today, we are revealing the winners of Outstanding Sports Team.
Outstanding Sports Team.
I'm really proud of our team, and so this is an awesome award that we'll share for years to come.
This year's Outstanding Team Award goes to Georgia Tech Swimming and Diving, a team that shattered records in the pool and finished as a top 25 program in the country.
We had a great ACC championships. We broke some school records. We had an ACC champion, so that was a ton of fun. Unfortunately, our season was cut a little short and didn't get to go to NCAA's for our final meet, but just really proud of their resilience and hard work.
Led by head coach Courtney Sheely Hart, sports, she's a two-time Olympic gold medalist and uses that and her strong staff to have success with her student athletes.
Our coaches and our support staff all work together to make this happen. So it's certainly not just me, but a big group of us. And, you know, for me, I was able to achieve a lot of things as an athlete. And so it's awesome to be able to come here as a coach on the other side and help them achieve their goals both in and out of the pool.
And because recruiting has gotten even more stacked, you can expect more big things from this team in the future.
This class has really built our program and taken it to the next level.
Mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can.
It was a sight to behold earlier this week when about 24 goats and a donkey got loose and started wandering the streets of Atlanta. It happened Tuesday in the Chastain Park area. Neighbors say a homeowner rented the rowdy bunch to clear some brush in her yard. The donkey was supposed to help herd the goats, but they got loose and wandered off to greener pastures. It took 3 women with several dog leashes about 30 minutes to round them all up. Neighbors say it was the hardest they laughed in months, and laughter was just what they needed, Chris.
Oh man, and we need some dry air to come in here. We still have really heavy rain that's moving through our area right now, and some thunder and lightning. This has prompted a flash flood warning for parts of Walton County, northern Walton County, and also into Oconee County. The rain will eventually taper off as we go through those overnight hours, but we will see more showers and storms that'll be redeveloping during the day tomorrow with those higher rain chances. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook, where we are going to see those rain chances still at 60% tomorrow and Saturday. Drier Sunday and Monday before lower rain chances come back Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll have more for you straight up at 10 o'clock right here on the ATL.
All right, Chris, more news and weather rolling on through prime time. We'll see you at 10.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Right now at 10, how Atlanta mayor is working to address racial disparities when it comes to COVID-19 numbers in the city.
And a new proposal to make COVID-19 testing results available in one day. But would Georgia laboratories be able to handle it?
Plus, a new timeline includes on what happened before a young Georgia mom went missing. First tonight, summer storms making their way through our viewing area right now, but earlier at 11 Alive Community Storm Tracker, Nicole Marson sent us this video of rain coming down sideways in Sugar Hill. We've got some flash flooding warnings out there right now and a few thunderstorms tonight.
Here in Midtown, it sounds like we have fireworks and mortar shells overhead. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, a lot of rain. Meteorologist Chris Holcomb here with the latest.
Yeah, it's raining really heavily on our roof. You might be able to even hear some of that thunder in the background here at our studio, where this is over us here in Atlanta. It's been really heavy on the west side through Atlanta and over to the east of us as well. And the main threats of this have been some really heavy rain. We've had some 40-mile-an-hour winds and also some frequent lightning. This moved through from Atlanta up through Gwinnett County. Things are finally a little calmer in Gwinnett County after the really heavy rain that they've been dealing with. Just some light rain left left behind. We had some heavy rain over toward Athens and into Barrow County. Still some lightning up at Jackson County. Now, most of the heaviest action is out here through South Gwinnett, also into Walton County from Monroe over in here to parts of Morgan County, right there along I-20 and just south of that. Look at that cluster of lightning here that's right on the Newton County line and Morgan County line. And with all the heavy rain that came down, it caused some flash flooding in some spots. There's a flash flood warning in effect for northern parts of Walton County into Oconee County. That's in effect until about 3 o'clock in the morning. And this bullseye right here, that yellow color that you see from Eastville down towards Snows Mill, we're having some rainfall estimates of about 3.5 inches of rain that has fallen there, and that's what's causing some of that flash flooding. And that's not all where we had heavy rain. Also on the Jackson and Madison County line, about 2.5 inches. Even Lawrenceville picked up almost 2.5 inches of rain there too. Now the heaviest rain from the Walton County down toward Morgan County. In this red box, we still have lightning, about 58 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. Now, look here inside the perimeter. Really heavy rain with thunder and lightning all over the downtown area, down also into Fayette County, Clayton County, over on the west side, here through South Fulton, Carroll County, and Douglas County. We still have 119 lightning strikes here in this area as well. And this is just moving very slowly, drifting over to the east. And that's the problem. Because of the slow movement, we're getting a lot of really heavy rain with this. Take a live look out there right now. This is what we're watching at this hour at from Midtown. This is from our tower cam right on top of our building, where we're looking down on 85 and the Beaufort Highway connector. Up there you see those lightning flashes with that as well, as we have lightning and very heavy rain here inside the perimeter. Now back to the bigger picture, and you can see here that this is centered over us here at I-20, I-85 South, I-85 North, also I-20 and I-75 on the south side with this heavy rain that's moving through. I had more than 700 people on my Facebook Live a little while ago. The big question is, when is this going to end? It's still going to take a little while because these showers have to rain themselves out, but we are seeing signs of weakening with this. So hold on a little bit longer, but then we have more showers developing tomorrow. We'll have more on that timeline for you in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. New tonight at 10, the pandemic is shining a light on a deep-rooted issue for many communities, racial and ethnic disparities in health care. And research is now showing that racial minorities are more vulnerable to the virus because of the underlying conditions brought on by a lack of access to health care in minority communities.
Now Atlanta's mayor wants action to address the racial disparities in the COVID numbers and more once and for all. John Sherrick has a breakdown of the mayor's order.
The evidence right before our eyes, everywhere among us, blacks, Latinos, other minorities continue to contract COVID-19 at higher rates than whites do. Jennifer Santana describing her struggles last month, 6 people in her family out of 12 infected.
You can't breathe, you have back pain, it feels like you pulled the muscle, and it doesn't matter how you move, where you move to, how you sit. It hurts.
Now Atlanta's Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms signing an administrative order to convene a special council to try to eliminate the racial disparities. The mayor declaring that racism is a public health crisis that contributes to the COVID-19 racial and ethnic disparities in Atlanta.
It sums it up, and she is spot on. This is clearly an all-hands-on-deck moment.
Dr. Patrice Harris of Atlanta, the former president of the American Medical Association, says look no further than the latest COVID-19 numbers from the CDC. Among blacks and Latinos, for example, compared to whites, everything is worse. More infections, more hospitalizations, more deaths because of underlying conditions brought on by chronic, inadequate access to health care in minority communities going back generations.
Pre-COVID, we were dealing with health inequities due to structural racism.
Dr. Harris believes the mayor's goals to eliminate health inequities are realistic, doable.
We can design targeted interventions because, again, it won't be a one-size-fits-all approach. It should be based on the data and the needs of the community.
Governor Kemp has ordered the state to withdraw its lawsuit against Atlanta's mayor and the city council over the city's mask mandate and other COVID restrictions. But this battle is not ending yet. Instead, he is accusing the mayor of refusing to agree to a settlement. So instead, he says that he will resort to a new executive order this Saturday to address it. The mayor called his comments, quote, woefully inaccurate, end quote.
COVID-19 cases are declining in Georgia. That is what the latest numbers show. Just over 2,500 new cases reported today. That is an improvement, but shows the virus is still widespread and deadly. 82 additional deaths recorded in the state today. Testing numbers dropped slightly today, but overall they show our weekly average positivity rate is falling. It's now at 9.72%. The goal is less than 5%.
A leading Georgia lawmaker plans to introduce a bill requiring same-day COVID testing for Georgians at no cost. Health workers in Georgia have administered nearly 2 million COVID-19 tests since the first case was confirmed here 21 weeks ago. Typically, people have to wait days or sometimes weeks for test results. The Republican Chuck Everstration now says that he is writing a bill that would require COVID testing be free of charge for every resident in the state and to turn results in less than 1 day. All right, we continue. Experts say that backlogs in test results are mostly the result of labs overwhelmed with tests coming from sites across the state. But officials say the state has expanded its lab capacity in recent weeks, and that testing technology is improving all the time. But the state would need plenty of funding to afford the move.
Gwinnett County Schools says parents and students had a much easier time logging on for virtual learning today. On the first day of virtual learning yesterday, the district says its servers couldn't handle the sheer number of families trying to log in at the same time for the first time in a while. Some received error messages. The school says even though they tested the system over the summer, they weren't able to simulate hundreds of people logging on at once. The district is urging parents and students get to class early, even if you're at home at the dining room table, before the set start time to prevent overloading the servers. If you want to know district start dates and their plans to keep kids safe, we do have a guide up for you. Just head to 11alive.com. It's a really great resource for you to track policies from district to district.
Better trends from the U.S. job market now. First-time unemployment claims dropped for a second week in a row. They fell below 1 million. For the first time since mid-March, the number of continuing claims that people are receiving unemployment for 2 weeks or longer also went down. It's now 15.5 million. That is an improvement. For context, the new unemployment rate is just over 10%. It was 3.5% before the pandemic all began. In Georgia, the number of first-time unemployment claims fell by more than 11,000 last week. The state labor department says 92% of all valid claims have received benefits over the past 4 months. That means 8% of people in our state are still waiting for benefits, and we've been hearing from many of you about issues with filing claims or receiving payments. We're working to try and get you some answers. If you have a question about unemployment, you can text us at 404-885-7600. A man shot outside of a motel in Gwinnett County. Police responded to the parking lot of an in-town suites on Wheel Trail Parkway. That was around 3:30 this afternoon. The victim was then transported to the hospital where he later died. At this time, police do not have a motive for the homicide, and they are asking anyone with any information to please come forward. An inmate in the Rockdale County Jail has been reported dead. The sheriff's office says 47-year-old Don Goodman died from a self-inflicted injury on August 8th. A news release from the sheriff's office says the deputies responded quickly. The GBI now is investigating the latest information. This is the fourth death at Rockdale County's jail over the last 2 years, and 2 of those inmates reportedly died from a medical emergency. A third died from dehydration.
Tonight, new clues about a Georgia's mom's last moments before she disappeared. The FBI says Leila Cavett arrived in Florida on July 24th and was at a Cracker Barrel in Vero Beach. The next day is when she was last seen near a gas station in Hollywood, Florida. On July 26th, Cavett's young son was found wandering alone in South Florida, and 2 days later, the young mother's truck was found. Cavett had previously been staying in Atlanta and North Georgia. Her family says that they don't know why she traveled to Florida with her son.
We have a sad update tonight to a story that we have been following. The body of a teen who went missing in the Alcovey River has now been found. According to the Newton County Sheriff's Department, 38-year-old Antonio Perry and 14-year-old DeJarian Greer reportedly went underwater. They never resurfaced on Tuesday. Perry's body was recovered yesterday. The 14-year-old's body was found earlier today. The family says that Perry was trying to save the teen when he went under and drowned.
Joe Biden is calling for a national mask-wearing mandate to last a minimum of 3 months. Biden made that call after joining his new running mate, Kamala Harris, at a briefing of his coronavirus task force. The former vice president says a mandate by each governor could save tens of thousands of lives in the coming months.
The estimates by the experts are it will save over 40,000 lives in the next 3 months. 40,000 lives. The people act responsibly. And it's not about your rights, it's about your responsibilities as an American.
President Trump took aim at Biden's comments during a White House press briefing today.
At every turn, Biden has been wrong about the virus, ignoring the scientific evidence and putting left-wing politics before facts and evidence.
And you can watch the president's daily briefing on the 11 Alive YouTube channel.
Coming up next, a lawsuit filed against the stepmother of the former Atlanta police officer that is charged in the death of Rayshard Brooks. Why she is facing a defamation suit.
And in the next half hour, a sheriff in one Florida town is banning wearing masks. The pushback he is now facing over this controversial move.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help.
A Metro Atlanta mortgage broker has filed a defamation lawsuit against the stepmother of former Atlanta police officer Garrett Rolfe.
So he is charged in the death of Rayshard Brooks. Natisha Lance has more from inside the lawsuit.
On the same day, former Atlanta police officer Garrett Rolfe turned himself in on 11 charges related to the death of Rayshard Brooks. His stepmother, Melissa Rolfe, was fired from her job as an HR director.
I want to be very clear when I want to say that it had nothing to do with what her son did or did not do. It had to do with her actions.
A lawsuit filed by Equity Prime Mortgage claims since Ralph's termination, she and the campaign for congressional candidate Marjorie Greene launched a smear campaign against the company, including tweets from Marjorie Greene like this one from June 30th.
Led to death threats to myself, my family, bomb threats to the building, employees getting just harassed online.
It even played out during an interview with Tucker Carlson on Fox News.
You been in trouble with them? Was there any indication that they were going to fire you before you received the message saying you were terminated?
No, I had received full support.
The lawsuit claims otherwise, saying Rolfe was terminated because she repeatedly violated company policy and created an uncomfortable and hostile working environment during her 4 months of employment. The suit states Rolfe was reprimanded 3 times and Equity Prime Mortgage was investigating additional claims. Rolfe denies the claims laid out in the lawsuit. Her attorney tells 11 Alive, "I believe this is a conspiracy to defame Melissa Rolfe, and it may have involved a conspiracy to defame Marjorie Greene." The attorney also says the accusations are provably false.
All right, we check back in with our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb. Is all of the rain sticking around for the weekend too, Chris?
You know, we're going to see these showers kind of come and go. The ones that are out there right now are still really strong with heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. But we are seeing signs now that they are weakening, so they're going to stick with us for a little while longer and then eventually just rain themselves out. And then we have more developing again tomorrow and then again on Saturday as well. So get used to these scattered showers that are going to be with us here. Not quite as strong right now as they were a little bit bit earlier. Let me show you what we're watching here over all of North Georgia. This that you see here in this area through Atlanta and over toward Athens, these showers are just kind of drifting over toward the east at a very slow pace. And we have some heavy rain here inside the perimeter that has been coming in from the west side, drifting over to the east through Atlanta, now on North Atlanta, over on the east side of the perimeter, and then that extends down into Henry County with that very heavy rain and plenty of thunder and lightning there. I'm going to widen out just a little bit so you can see all of this in West Georgia, Metro Atlanta, and east of the city. In this red box, we have about 174 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. That's out of this entire area. Earlier, some of these individual storms had that many lightning strikes in a 15-minute period. Things are letting up in Gwinnett County. They had heavy rain earlier, still heavy rain in the Snellville area. Barrow County, you're looking better. Walton County, still some lightning right there on the Walton and Morgan County line. More lightning here along I-20 near Madison. That's starting to weaken a little bit. Still really heavy with lightning there, but just not as bad as it was earlier. And then since these have been moving so slowly, they're producing a lot of rain. This is a flash flood warning that you see here in this green polygon that includes parts of northern Oconee County, actually northern Walton County into Oconee County until 3 in the morning. Here's a look now at that estimate right around Eastville to Snows Mill. Radar estimating about 3.5 inches of rain has fallen there, and that could cause some flash flooding. That extends down to about 2 inches just to the east of Monroe. Also more than 2 inches near Lawrenceville, 2.5 inches right there on the Jackson and Madison County line. And then here we still have that heavier rain extending down to the southern parts of Newton County. And then look at all that on the east side too here. Northern Henry, eastern Atlanta into DeKalb, and there's that southern part of Gwinnett County. We've got about 126 lightning strikes in that area right there. Again, drifting over to the east. Drier weather, though, on the north side. Let me take you live out there, a couple of our live cameras. This is here in Midtown, where we are looking down on 85 in the Buford Highway connector. You can see that the roads are wet. Cars are moving a little bit slower now because of some of that heavier rain that we've been dealing with. Here's another look at the airport camera. This is heavy scattered showers still, or moderate showers still at Hartsfield-Jackson, but we have some delays at Hartsfield-Jackson with all of that heavy rain that came through earlier. Now back to this live picture. This is in Coweta County. I've been keeping an eye on this. I know that looks kind of dark, but every once in a while we see some lightning flashing in the distance there from our tower cam in Coweta County. Tomorrow, scattered showers will redevelop again. I don't think it's going to be as hot. We'll get up to 89, more clouds around, showers at about a 60% chance in the afternoon. Tonight, most of these showers will begin to diminish, and then in the morning, we have mostly cloudy skies to start. Good coverage of clouds at noon, and the cloud cover is the reason why we're not going to see temperatures as hot tomorrow, because scattered showers will keep us there in the 80s. That lingers into the evening on Friday, and then into Saturday, more scattered showers around. Rain chance holding at 60% on Saturday. Finally, some drier air comes in for Sunday and Monday with those rain chances coming down. So a 60% chance for showers Friday and Saturday, only a 20% chance Sunday and Monday. And with those lower rain chances, we go back to the lower 90s. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, only a 30% chance for showers each day. That's not a lot of rain, but temperatures will come down a little bit in the mid and upper 80s. Here's a look at your weather wow moment for the day, and this was taken early this morning before things got crazy during the evening hours tonight. Mary Beth Etheridge took this at sunrise. She's in Stockbridge, and the sun here mixing in with some of those clouds gave some nice colors. Mary Beth is one of our very active 11 Alive community storm trackers. You can be one too on Facebook. Just search 11 Alive Storm Trackers. Ask to become a member of that closed group. We'll approve you. You can see what other people are posting in our area, and you can post your own weather information there too.
After the break, goats on the loose near Chastain Park. A surprise interruption for neighbors as they tried to wrangle this runaway herd. 5 newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
New tonight, Fulton County Schools will delay all fall sports competitions until September 14th. Now, this is going to include football and softball, cross country, volleyball, cheer, and marching band. Now, all teams can still practice until then, but district officials say they will continue to track the impact of COVID between now and the 14th of the month.
Well, it was a sight to behold earlier this week when about 24 goats and a donkey got loose and started wandering the streets of Atlanta. It happened Tuesday in the Chastain Park area. Neighbors we talked with said that a homeowner rented the rowdy bunch to help clear out some brush in her yard. Sounded like a good idea, right? The donkey was supposed to help herd the goats, but they staged a barnyard breakout and went wandering off to greener pastures. It took 3 women with several dog leashes about 30 minutes to round up the rebellious farm animals. Neighbors say it was the hardest they laughed in months, and that laughter was just what they needed. See what happens, Jeff, when you try to take someone out of their habitat. They want it out of the city, right?
Yeah, and you know, with donkeys, you cannot let them in your neighborhood because they will burrow in there, and it becomes even more difficult.
See, a man who knows a little about a lot. I didn't even know you had that fact in you about donkeys. You just hit me with that one. Hey, Jeff, I'll see you over on Up Late at 11 on 11 Alive.
We'll look forward to it. Thanks. Here's what's coming up on the Big 36. Lunch tables in the hallway and the Code Hall passes. We asked local schools to take us inside classrooms to show us what the new school year looks like.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97. Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
President Trump taking heat on multiple fronts today. Critics accusing him of trying to sabotage mail-in voting and of using racially charged language against Joe Biden's new running mate, Senator Harris. Meanwhile, Biden and the senator spoke today in Delaware on the coronavirus crisis. Alice Barr in Washington, D.C. has the very latest.
The Biden-Harris ticket in its first full day of campaigning offering a sharp contrast to President Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic.
Well, let's institute a mask mandate nationwide, starting immediately, and we will save lives.
That's what real leadership looks like. We just witnessed real leadership.
Senator Kamala Harris stepping into her new role as running mate, praising Joe Biden and taking a swipe at the president.
Because there may be some grand gestures offered by the current president about a vaccine, but it really doesn't matter until you can answer the question, when am I going to get vaccinated?
President Trump is sharpening his attacks against Senator Harris in an interview with Fox Business.
You have a sort of a mad woman, I call her, because she was so angry and such hatred with Justice Kavanaugh.
Characterizing black women as angry is widely considered a racially charged tactic.
I think as women and all of our allies, we have to stand up and speak up against that type of racist trope that so many black women have endured.
The president also explaining in his clearest language yet why he wants to block Democrats' demands for billions of dollars to support mail-in voting and the U.S. Postal Service.
If they don't get those two items, that means you can't have universal mail-in voting because they're not equipped to have it.
The president laid it out very clearly for us today. He does not want Americans to be able to vote by mail because he is afraid of the results.
President Trump's critics calling the post office a lifeline for democracy as the U.S. prepares for a pivotal election during a raging pandemic.
President Trump is staunchly against the idea of universal mail-in voting. This week he said he would block any proposed funding for the United States Postal Service specifically for this reason.
If they don't get those two items, that means you can't have universal mail-in voting because they're not equipped to have it.
His comments immediately drawing criticism about making it harder for Americans to vote, particularly during COVID-19.
There are people who think that the post office is election central in this election. Maybe the president thinks that too, and that's why he wants to shut it down.
By law, Congress has the right to decide how much funding the Postal Service will be getting. Cheryl Preheim talked to the assistant professor of constitutional law at Georgia State University, Anthony Creese. He says it's troubling when a political goal touches on a fundamental right.
What is really acutely problematic here is that the President of the United States is saying that he does not want to fund a federal agency for the sole purpose of making voting harder.
Voter rights organizations are talking about this attempt to dismantle the USPS as just another form of voter suppression.
You know, particularly as Georgians, we lost a great legend in John Lewis recently, who was a tireless advocate for voting rights in the streets and in the halls of Congress. And I think we have a particular duty as Georgians to respect John Lewis's legacy and to not only expand voting rights through legislation, but to ensure that the mechanisms and the infrastructure is there, that voting is easier and not harder.
Is there any legal recourse?
In terms of constitutional remedies, we're really, out of luck here. This is a political question, and the resolution will come through the political process.
And the U.S. Constitution protects against voter discrimination based on age, race, or sex. But the professor says most people are surprised there is not a right to vote expressively written into the Constitution. In-person instruction looking a lot different this year. Schools are rearranging classrooms and figuring out new ways to try to keep students safe during the pandemic. Christy Diaz is taking you on a virtual tour through schools in 3 districts, showing you what it looks like going back to school.
When 80% of students opted for in-person learning, North Forsyth High School principal Bob Carnaroli had to get creative.
We try to go through every single scenario.
Like putting lunch tables in a hallway.
So normally you would have 5 or 6 kids sitting at one of these round tables, and now we're only going to have 3.
He knew keeping 2,200 kids safe and healthy each day was going to be a challenge, so he asked students and teachers to weigh in.
Sounds like it was a real collaborative effort.
It was a collaborative effort.
They put up a QR code to act as a hall pass and keep track of students who need to leave the classroom.
It's just one less thing students have to touch.
Attached mobile hand sanitizers to the sides of all snack machines, and hung plastic curtains between the teacher and students in the foreign language classes, where looking at someone's mouth is important.
Please respect these markings when getting your lunch.
The student council even made this video to get everyone on board.
I want kids to feel excited about coming back to school, which I think they're going to be. But we do have some new routines in place that are going to hopefully keep Raider Nation safe as long as possible.
Over at St. John Newman Catholic School.
Good morning, Rita. How are you feeling?
They've already been practicing their new protocols.
Hi, Mommy.
Inside, they installed plasma air filters throughout the building to kill germs in the air.
I think it has a 99.4% kill rate in 30 minutes.
Added bottle fillers to use instead of water fountains, and limited classrooms to small numbers of students.
We did hire additional staff so that we have 15 children in every classroom.
Down in Fayette County, they ran through a mock first day to make sure everything was perfect before the students got there, showing the exact routine students will have to go through to get inside the building. Safety measures they know may feel strange and unfamiliar at first, but will help students stay in the classroom as long as possible.
The World Health Organization says you should hold off on going to any dentist appointment. They made the recommendation for those who live in an area with high transmission rates, because dentists and hygienists work in closely with patients' faces and mouths. They are at a higher risk of being infected or passing the virus on to their patients. But the WHO says that you should still go if you have a dental emergency. Thank you. American Airlines is now preparing to cut routes to 24 small and medium-sized cities. It is the latest in the travel industry's ongoing struggle to stay afloat. An airline executive tells CNBC the new cancellations for up to 30 destinations could show up in fall schedules as early as next week. The federal government had previously banned carriers from cutting service, but that order expires at the end of September. No patrons at the Masters, no Big Ten and Pac-12 football in the fall. Some very big developments in both sports and politics. I'm joined by national columnist Ron Hart. So, Ron, what does the Masters look like without patrons? Very strange world indeed.
Yeah, it'll be different. Probably good. I don't mind golf on TV with no patrons, but I had tickets this year. The good news is they roll them over to next year. So people that had tickets will get to go next year in April. It could be, pretty soon actually if they get back on schedule. But yeah, it's the whole sports situation is going to be an odd one. If the Big Ten doesn't have football, in the SEC, I guess the ACC is not going to have football, so Georgia won't play Georgia Tech unless they do it on Zoom or something, which actually would give Georgia Tech the first advantage ever for this technology and engineering.
Ron, I see a Vanderbilt helmet behind you. Those Vanderbilt degrees are one of the most prestigious in the world. The helmets, not so much.
Not so much. No, they need helmets there. Yeah, kids went to school there. I love Vanderbilt. I've always been a Vanderbilt fan, so it's a tough one. University of Memphis has actually become a pretty good football program and kind of fun to watch. But Vanderbilt, I don't know if they belong in the SEC. They play everybody's homecoming. If you go to Vanderbilt and play football, you can recognize a homecoming float.
In my next life, I'm coming back with a Vanderbilt degree. I'm going to be much more successful, I'm telling you. What will the SEC do now, and how will college football look this fall with only some of the conferences playing? What do you think?
You know, the SEC is a strong, football conference. People like their sport. I hope they stand firm and do it. I mean, these are very strong kids who can withstand some COVID if it happens. If there's an outbreak, just shut it down. But they need to go ahead and do it and maybe set the tone for the rest of the country. I like the idea of different conferences doing different things and see what the outcomes are, because we won't know until they do it.
Where is the debate going on mail-in ballots for voting in November, do you think?
The Postal Service, as we know, has always been reliable, so I don't see anything, Jeff, that can go wrong with that. So I was just curious, on my 6 ballots, should I mail them in the same day, or should I try to space them out a little bit? I don't know. I got to make a decision pretty soon.
When I think about the post office, I think about the fact that you and I's picture has been displayed in that mugshot portal there for many years.
Yeah, social media a lot, really. Right.
All right. Also, Metro Atlanta schools have opened. That is a wild card right now. Hard to tell how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, I saw Tower Liquors store the other day had a back-to-school sale on booze. I think parents are really happy. I think they got to do it. Again, like the football players, these kids are very resilient to COVID. They need to get back in school. We can't do this forever. Look, there's a certain amount of risk every time you walk out the door out there. These risks are very de minimis. If it gets bad, they can shut them down. I think it's mostly the teachers' unions that didn't want to go back. I think the parents wanted their kids in school. And most of them have the option to do online or go back. So I like choices, and I like people trying new things. Let's see how it goes.
All right, so we've had a segment with Tower Liquors reference, with a Vanderbilt football reference, and with mugshots at the post office. I'm telling you, we have touched all the bases in this segment.
Solid work, really a solid.
Thank you, Ron Hart. We'll see you down the road.
Heavy rain, thunder, and lightning still in our area right now, but we are seeing signs of weakening. Stay with us. We'll let you know when these showers will end and when more will develop.
Coming up, the Falcons get their helmets on for the first time in training camp. What does Julio think about starting this late in August? You will hear from him coming up in our sports segment.
.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear, on 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is...
A sheriff in Central Florida has put in a controversial new COVID-19 order that has many across the country talking. He is prohibiting his deputies from wearing masks, with a few exceptions. Here's NBC's Kerry Sanders.
This morning at the Marion County, Florida Sheriff's Office, a sign at the front door causing some to do a double take. Anyone entering this facility must remove their mask. The sheriff here.
Hello, Marion County citizens. I'm your Sheriff, Billy Woods.
Declined to talk to NBC News, but in his order, he mandates the 900 deputies and staff on his force not cover their faces for routine work, saying in part, when you are on duty working as my employee and representing my office, masks will not be worn.
That sounds like encouraging people to smoke. People will die as a result of this. It's shameful that they're doing it.
The order to remove masks comes just days after the biggest city in Marion County, Ocala, passed an emergency ordinance requiring everyone wear a mask when entering a business. The mayor was the lone voice who opposed that mask mandate.
How much of this is a political decision over a health decision?
Mine's a constitutional decision.
Sheriff Billy Woods issued his no mask mandate this week on the same day Florida recorded a record 276 COVID deaths. The order announced just hours after Woods says he and other sheriffs had spoken by phone with President Trump. City Council member Matthew Wardell.
To date, 104 of our friends and family members and residents have died related to COVID, and we're trying to stop that.
But the sheriff says there is no solid evidence that masks protect against coronavirus, something health experts say is false.
We know that there are a few things right now available to us that can help save lives. At the top of that list right now are masks.
If the elected county commission were to challenge this ruling by the sheriff, it likely would wind up in court because the sheriff himself is a constitutional officer.
We still have a lot of heavy rain, thunder and lightning out there. Even though some of you are getting that heavy rain and lightning, at least this is starting to weaken somewhat. It's not as widespread as it was, not as intense as it was, but still some of you getting some heavy rain and thunder and lightning, especially here on the south side where we have more of that lightning that's moving through. A lot of this also inside the perimeter. Over on the east side of the perimeter, we have that heavier rain that goes over to DeKalb County with thunder and lightning in South DeKalb, the northern parts of Henry County, also moving into Rockdale County, southern parts of Gwinnett County, some good showers and storms. Also these storms moving into Newton County with some thunder and lightning there too, stretching down toward Butts County. into Jasper County too. That's where we have the heaviest rain and most of that thunder and lightning. Also here near Peachtree City, some heavier rain. Coweta County, still some thunder and lightning there. Some of that moving into Spalding County. And not as much lightning now as we had earlier. And in this entire red box, including all of metro Atlanta here and areas to the south side, we've got about 151 lightning strikes. It was very intense earlier in Gwinnett County with very heavy rain, thunder and lightning. Things are calmer now. Not totally over, still some light rain, but at least it's calmer than it was. And then here you see that heavier rain out I-20, extending south of I-20 as well. More showers near Madison. And then on the south side here in Atlanta, light rain. Still some lightning in Douglasville. And there's that lightning that's down toward the Peachtree City area. And this is all drifting to the east. And we're seeing signs finally that these showers are beginning to weaken somewhat here too. Drier in North Georgia. Watching a couple of showers though back into Alabama, trying to move into Northwest Georgia too. Here's a live look in Coweta County. I know this looks dark, but we've been watching this camera because there's been a lot of lightning near Noonan and near Coweta County. We'll kind of look to see if we see any of those lightning flashes there in the distance. Nothing out there right now, but still some of that lightning that we're watching. Latest advisory just came in on Tropical Storm Josephine. This is the 11 p.m. advisory. Still a tropical storm with 45-mile-an-hour winds. We don't think this is going to become a hurricane, but we do think it may get up to 60-mile-an-hour winds on Friday, and then come back down with the intensity decreasing through the weekend, and then eventually by next Monday and Tuesday becoming a tropical depression and then an area of low pressure as it curves away from land. We don't think that system is going to make landfall at all. Also, another system off the coast of North Carolina that we think has the potential to develop. The Hurricane Center giving this a 30 to 40% chance of development, but the good news is that it's going to be moving away from the coast, so we don't think that will have major impacts there either. So here's the 7-day outlook. Rain chances still on the higher end Friday and Saturday at a 60% chance for showers, but with the additional cloud cover and better rain chances, temperatures are going to be in the 80s there, and then 90s for Sunday and Monday with a 20% chance for showers, so drier air in place. 30% chance Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with high temperatures back to the 80s.
All right, sports tonight. The debate over playing football continues to rage, with several doctors voicing concerns to the NCAA regarding long-term effects of COVID. Alex Glaze tells us what doctors and athletes think about playing here in this season.
If you are a big offensive lineman, does that mean you're at higher risk of having a downstream negative consequence from COVID-19 just because you're big? We don't have the answer to that.
With many medical unknowns surrounding COVID-19, colleges around the country are starting to postpone fall sports. Football is the sport at the center of the conversation.
The question of should sports be played as it relates to high school, colleges, that still remains to me very much a public health consideration.
As of right now, the plan is to have high school football in Georgia, and across the country, there are still plans for some conferences to play football this fall despite the medical guidance given from doctors on the NCAA Medical Advisory Board. Dr. Carlos Del Rio serves on the NCAA's COVID-19 panel. He said the focus should be on controlling the spread of the virus. In the professional sports world, the NFL is moving forward with its plan to play, which is different to players like Falcons receiver Julio Jones because they're professionals.
We here on a professional level where we don't have class, we don't have this, we don't have to be around a lot of, especially kids. Like when you 18, 19 years old, it's kind of hard to be away from this person, be away from that, but here it's like we have our families we can go home to, and making sure everybody staying the same people. Whereas when you're in college, you don't know where somebody's going, things like that. It's just too much of a risk. And the team is way, way bigger as far as on the college level than the NFL level.
And Julio's message for college players?
At the end of the day is, family first, stay healthy.
Falcons finally have their helmets on, getting closer to practice in a normal way in training camp, but it's not typical for it to be this late, of course. And not to have any contact yet, but pads are going to be on soon. Julio Jones likes it, says he's ready to go by game one, regardless of what goes on.
I'm conditioned for this, helmet on, helmet off. I can go out there and play the first game without anything. It doesn't matter. It's just like you got to be a professional at the end of the day. I don't blame it on that because everybody's got to go through the same thing I'm going through.
The 15th Annual Atlanta Sports Awards are Saturday right here on 11 Alive. We're going to have a lot of special guests like the guys behind me right now. You recognize all of them. You'll have to tune in to see what it's all about. But tonight we are revealing the winners of Outstanding Sports Team. Let's take a look at the winner.
Outstanding Sports Team. I'm really proud of our team, and so this is an awesome award that we'll share for years to come.
This year's Outstanding Team Award goes to Georgia Tech Swimming and Diving, a team that shattered records in the pool and finished as a top 25 program in the country.
We had a great ACC championships. We broke some school records. We had an ACC champion, so that was a ton of fun. Unfortunately, our season was cut a little short and didn't get to go to NCAA's for our final meet, but just really proud of their resilience and hard work.
Led by head coach Courtney Sheely-Hart, she's a two-time Olympic gold medalist and uses that and her strong staff to have success with her student athletes.
Our coaches and our support staff all work together to make this happen, so it's certainly not just me, but a big group of us. And for me, I was able to achieve a lot of things as an athlete. And so it's awesome to be able to come here as a coach on the other side and help them achieve their goals both in and out of the pool.
And because recruiting has gotten even more stacked, you can expect more big things from this team in the future.
This class has really built our program and taken it to the next level.
Braves are off tonight. They start a 3-game series against Miami tomorrow, and that is it for sports. We return after the break.
Dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Still dealing with some heavy rain and thunder and lightning. The heaviest activity is over on the east side, stretching from DeKalb County down through Rockdale County, Newton County, and into Jasper County, where we have the heavy rain and thunder and lightning. That's going to continue drifting over to the east, and we do see some weakening that will be occurring as we continue through the late night hours tonight and overnight too. But even where it's not heavy, we still have some light rain around, and that will eventually taper off too. Rain chances go back up tomorrow to 60 60% chance both Friday and Saturday. High temperatures will hold below 90 thanks to the additional clouds and the higher rain chances. Drier air for the second half of the weekend for Sunday into Monday with highs near 90, and then a 30% chance for showers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And high temperatures next week look like they'll be trending a little bit lower in the mid and upper 80s.
Chris will have more on 11 Alive prime time in about 2.5 minutes. So switch on over there. Remember, the news continues all the time online, 11alive.com. Have a great evening, everyone.
Can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people, or are you doing this to make money, or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is